One morning, my wife got this text. Our garage had been broken into. Even though I thought my garage was pretty well secured, they still broke in and they took 4 bikes and about £1,500 worth of camping equipment. The first thing you feel is a bit sick. It's like an invasion of privacy. It's just not a nice feeling at all. And then you get a bit angry. Somebody's come in and taken the stuff that you've worked so hard to pay for. And then you go into that whole, I've got to sort it all out now and try and claim on the insurance, and that's going to be a nightmare, and they'll always look for a way not to pay out, and blah, blah, blah. But I did learn a couple of lessons, and that's the reason that I want to make this video, so that you don't make the mistake that I've made, and also that I can show you a cycle insurance company that performed above my expectations. So let me take you through what was stolen and what I did about it. We had 4 bikes in the garage. We had my Specialized Diverge, which I'd only had for a year, and in fact had just finished paying for, so that's annoying. We had 2 electric bikes, 2 Go Cycles, which we'd bought used, but were a significant amount of money. And we also had in there a Specialized Cirrus, which was a relatively cheap bike, and actually I didn't have that one insured. Frustratingly, on my Diverge, because I'd not long come back off a cycle ride the day before and just put it in the garage before sorting it out, it also had my Garmin cycle computer on it, it had my Garmin power pedals on it, and it had the Garmin Varia radar rear light and the Garmin UTF 800 front light on it as well. So in accessories we're talking a couple of £1,000. So it's a lot of money in one bike. And then of course the 2 electric bikes were Go Cycle G3s, and if you wanted to buy new ones of those today, you'd be talking over £4,000 each. On top of that, they took the chargers for the Go Cycles. They actually took the whole 4 gang, and rather frustratingly, about a week later I went to mow the lawn and I've got an electric mower, a battery operated one, and I suddenly realised that they'd also taken the battery for the mower. Honestly, you couldn't write it. So my first port of call was the house insurance, and this is the mistake that I made, and one that I urge you to check and make sure that you are covered. Our garage is a separate building to the house, and what I didn't realise when I took out the contents insurance is that outbuildings are not covered under the insurance. So I did an online claim form with them, sent it through, and they sent me one back saying that actually I wasn't covered. So already we had some camping equipment stolen, about £1,500 worth. There was a couple of tents, some air beds, sleeping bags, that kind of camping stuff. So already that wasn't covered, so I knew that I'd lost that money because I had no extra insurance for that. Fortunately, when I bought my Diverge, I also got 14 days free cover with a company called Bikmo, and I decided just to carry that on and take out a policy, and I put the 2 electric bikes on that as well. So that was my second port of call. I jumped onto the Bikemo website, logged into my account, and there's a button there whereabouts you basically just say, I want to make a claim. So I filled out the claim form, filled out all of the items that had been stolen. So there was the 3 bicycles, because as I said, the cheaper one wasn't insured anyway. And on top of that, I also filled in the accessories. Bikemo's insurance says that they will cover the insured value of the bicycles, and on top of that, they'll also cover 10% of the insured value in terms of accessories. But of course, when you're filling out the form, you're never quite sure what the insurance company will say or what they will do. My experience of insurance claims in the past has been mixed, let's say. So you send off the form with an air of trepidation. Will they try and find a loophole? Will they not? So later that day, I got an email back from them basically saying that they'd received it and they wanted some more information. Fair enough. They wanted some pictures to prove that I owned them. They wanted some invoices to prove that I'd paid for the items that I'd got insured. All of that absolutely fine. I supplied all of that. They then emailed back to me and said they wanted a couple more pictures of the garage, whereabouts had been broken into, so I supplied that. I also sent them a photo of the lock, which had been cut by bolt cutters, by the way. And that was about all. I then got an email back about a day later saying that it had been sent to the underwriters and it would take about 4 or 5 days for the claim to be processed. So far, so good. Exactly what you'd expect. And then this was the bit that surprised me, but in a positive way. When I filled out the claim form, I filled in the amounts that I'd insured the bikes for. So for the Diverge, just under £4,000. I put in the amount that I'd paid on eBay, whereabouts I bought the electric bikes from, for £1,700 and £1,300. And then I put down the amounts that I'd paid for the pedals and the lights and the bike computer. So in total, I had an insured value of just under £7,700 for the bikes, plus the accessories. I got an email back from the underwriters, Hiscox UK, which funnily enough I have my motorbike insured with, but that's just a coincidence, it's not intentional. And what they'd done is they'd basically look at replacement values on the bicycles. So they'd valued the Diverge at about 3,400, but they'd looked at the 2 electric bikes and ascertained they'd be about £3,500 each to replace. And I assume this calculation was made on the basis that you can't really get hold of the G3 models that we've got, so you would have had to replace sort of like a like for like with a G4 and probably a used one. That seems more than fair to me. On top of that, it was pretty much the new price that you'd pay for a set of Garmin power pedals, and then they listed the accessories. In total, they estimated the cost of replacement for the accessories would be just over £1,000, but because our insured value was just under £7,700, they would be able to pay out just under £770. So in total, they estimated our claim value at being £12,130, but the insured value was £7,700 plus the 10% for the accessories, and that's what they'd pay out, which came to 8,465. So leaving all of those numbers to one side for a moment, essentially what's happened is that they've paid me out the exact amount that I said I wanted to insure my bikes for, plus 10% for the accessories that went as well. And to me, that seems more than fair. A couple more emails to confirm bank details, and within 2 days the money was in my account. So I have to say, I'm very impressed with Bikemo, so much so that I contacted them and explained that I had a YouTube channel and that I was going to do a video about the experience that I'd had, and did they want to give me an affiliate code that you, my viewer, could use if you chose to. You can use Bikemo insurance in the UK, Ireland, Austria and Germany, by the way. And they did. They've sent me one over. Now the affiliate code won't get you a discount, but if you did use it and decided to buy insurance, well then they donate £10 for every policy sold to a charity, or as they call it, their sustainability partner, and that is Trash Free Trails. So it's a UK-based organisation, and essentially they work with members of the public and businesses to try and keep the trails that are used for cycling, and of course probably walking and hiking and all that kind of thing as well, because quite often they're the same trails, clean and tidy. So they're actually putting a bit of money back into the business that they're in. So, you know, encouraging people to get out there and go cycling, and also encouraging people to keep those places that you cycle clean and putting some money behind that as an investment in the future. So I thought that was quite nice. If you are in Germany, Ireland, Austria or the UK and you're thinking about bike insurance, then maybe click on the link in the description below and see what their quote's like. In fact, the cost of my insurance was £300 a year, so clearly that has been very good value for money. And that was to insure all of the bicycles that I had, all 3 of them, so 2 electric bikes and the Diverge. They give a multi-bike discount. Anyway, I'm not here particularly to sell Bikemo. It's really just a case of it's a good experience that I've had, and if you're in the market for bike insurance, then check them out, see how they quote for you. Full disclosure, if you do buy an insurance policy through Bikemo, then I would get a small commission, which, as always, I would invest in the channel. I'm not sponsored in any way, they've not asked me to make this video. This is basically me wanting to share my experience. So the lessons learned were, check your house insurance to make sure it covers everything that you thought it did. So that was lesson number 1. And lesson 2 is to take out decent bike insurance cover, which I'm sure most of you have, especially if you have expensive bicycles. And I'm very pleased that I had that. And now, I guess it gets to the fun bit, and that is, well, what am I going to replace the stolen bike with? Because at the moment, I am bicycle-less, and that is not a happy place to be. So keep an eye on the channel, because I have ordered a new bike, and it'll be arriving shortly, and I'll be doing a first impressions video on it before very long. And then you can see whether you agree with the decision I've made, or whether you think, well, I would have bought something else. So of course, for the past few weeks, with no outdoor bicycle to go on, I've been spending more time cycling indoors. And if you're interested in how to get started with cycling indoors, as the winter is now upon us, then this next video might be of some use.